Okay, so now we're gonna do a little current event where we read something that's going on that's of interest to Jessica. And what is your favorite country?
Japan.
Japan. So let's just go on the iPad. And what do you like in Japan? What kind of stuff do you like about Japan?
Its culture.
So let's type in Japanese culture and see what we can figure out. Okay. All right, how about, let's see, virtual culture. There's images for the different Japan. So let's go to this Japanese culture website. It says about Japanese culture. Actually, let's go back. I saw a better one. This is called Japanese Zone. It talks about different festivals. So let's pick something to talk about. What do you want to read about? Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's read this little paragraph and we'll talk about it, okay? So for many people, the mention of Japanese culture conjures up images of weird masks and extravagantly made up actors twirling red umbrellas on stage and elegant kimono-clad ladies pouring cups of tea. Well, even today you can still experience all that kind of stuff if you know where to look. So it says, the traditional arts of Japan offer an opportunity to experience something truly exotic, to find inner calm. Okay, so it talks about the different Japanese cultures. So they have snow festivals, fire festivals. So they have all different kinds of festivals that you can go to. Let's look at this tea ceremony one. So let's see. So what do you think they do in a tea ceremony? What do you think Japanese people do in a tea ceremony? Do you know?
They have tea.
They have tea. Okay, so is that kind of like what the English do too?
Mm-hmm.
So English people can also have tea festivals. So tea is an important part of their culture. Okay, it talks about the different kinds of teas. Chai tea is another one. It's a kind of tea that they like. Okay, and they have a tea room, which is kind of a little house that they go to where they have their tea. What do you think they have with their tea? Do they just drink tea, or do you think they have something else? What do you think, Jess?
I think they just maybe have something else.
Maybe something like Japanese treats, maybe?
Yes.
Let's look at this. This talks about Japanese trees, bonsai trees. So those trees are really small. It says, when you live in a country with limited space, but you want to exercise your green fingers, you decide to plant a bonsai tree. Bonsai trees can be planted in pots. They're like small versions of trees. So look at that one. Is that kind of cool? Look at that tree. What's that look like? It looks like a little oak tree, doesn't it? So Japanese bonsai trees, those are interesting, right? Okay. Let's see what else we can figure out. Let's look at Japanese facts. Let's see. Facts about Japan. Okay. So these are facts about Japan. So is Japan is what kind of a country is that? It's an island country, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many different islands do you think Japan has?
Maybe a million.
Well, look. The maps. I don't think it's got a million. That's too many. So what about, it looks like there's, oh look, there's all kinds of maps. Earthquake maps, that's so cool. Let's count the islands. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There's four main islands, right? What's that island's name? Can you say that word? How do you pronounce it?
Hokkaido.
Hokkaido, what's that name?
Honshu.
Honshu, Shiku, and Kurisu.
Yes.
So the main island, what's the main island's name? Which one's the main island, do you think?
Honshu.
Hochu, that's where Tokyo is?
Yes.
So Tokyo is the main island, right? Okay, let's look at something else real quick. Let's look at this map. This is interesting. Ooh, that's an interesting map. What's that map about?
Earthquakes.
Look at all the earthquakes Japan has had. So do you think Japan's a pretty popular place for earthquakes?
Yes.
So if you look at the earthquake scale, the bigger ones have the bigger circles. Which island has the most earthquakes, do you think? What would you say?
This one.
That smaller one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like that smaller island's got a lot of, it looks like all of them have a lot of earthquakes. It's just part of living in Japan, right? Okay. So that's interesting, since you like Japan so much.